disclosures of conflict of interest, if there is any. Seeing none, we'll continue to move on into our presentations. We have a few presentations today, which is always nice. First up, we have Jamie McDonald presenting on the Aviation Museum request / LBA Arena. So Jamie, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jamie McDonald. I own, with my wife Carol, Donahue's Restaurant. Recently moved here, well, 3 years ago. Prior to that, we lived in, well, I lived all across Canada, but I was a policeman in Winnipeg, and I was in the Air Force for 27 years. 6 of which was here at CFB Chatham in the 80s. So I'm here on the behalf of the Aviation Museum. The Aviation Museum is a small museum I'm sure you're all aware of, or at least I hope you are. It was incorporated in 2013 and became a CRA charitable nonprofit in 2014. It's located in a small airport hangar, Hangar 6. And that was done with the assistance of Irving Oil, the Beaverbrook Foundation, provincial government, Canadian Heritage, Veterans Affairs, and other patrons. And the goal of the museum was to become a leading aerospace museum in Eastern Canada to illustrate the history of and heritage of aviation in New Brunswick, New Brunswickers in the RCAF and war in peacetime, and the civilian aviation industry in New Brunswick, and to preserve the significant history of aviation, particularly here in Miramichi. Like I said, we're located in this small hangar. It's quite small. It can't, in fact, house most of our aviation airplane exhibits. But one thing we do out of the museum, we do very well, is we operate a STEM Focus Center for Excellence in Aviation, which is a K-12 curriculum educational program that's run by a teacher here, Jody Coakley. And what it does, it prepares students for aviation and aerospace related careers. So they can move on to opportunities both in New Brunswick and the Atlantic region. And what we found with this program is that students that take part in this program have a significant increase in their marks in physics, math, and science. So it really engages these young students. In 2022, the board, and I'll call it the previous board because the board's undertaken some significant changes, conducted a study through Ad Astra to build a new facility to house the museum. It was going to be a $25 million, wonderful, beautiful museum here in the Miramichi. The reality of it is, it was a pretty unrealistic goal in my personal opinion, and that's how I ended up getting involved in this project and involved in the museum. When you try to build a $25 million museum, what they found out quite quickly is that you can't get any traction for any kind of significant capital investment, and that's exactly what happened. Which brings me to why I'm here. The museum is significant in my personal opinion. I don't know how many people have actually been there, but it does house a lot of exhibits, and we do own several airplanes, that a lot of which, or some of which, are not even in this province. Because it's kind of pointless to bring them here until we have a facility to keep them in. That said, what I'd like to do is open a discussion about the Lord Beaverbrook Arena. The Lord Beaverbrook Arena, in my opinion, would be a perfect opportunity to move forward with this project for a variety of reasons. Its location is perfect. It's very high visibility. It's between the high school, James M. Hill, and NBCC. And the reason why I mention NBCC is because, as a former military guy and somebody who has a daughter and son-in-law still in the military who do instruction at the aerospace school in Borden, Ontario, the Canadian government is about to get out of the training business for their aerospace technicians, which means they'll be creating 1,000 college positions for air maintenance engineers, which means they're going to train their people as civilian qualified AMEs, and they're going to farm it all out to community colleges. So with that in mind, I reached out to Sonny Newman at NBCC and said, you know, if the museum exists and it's that close, you know, is this something that you'd be happy to partner on? And to say the least, they're very enthusiastic about it. So here we are. We're a museum that's done a significant change of direction, a significant change of board. But we absolutely need a new facility. We haven't had the opportunity, frankly, or the funds to commission specifically what it would cost us, but my estimation, it would be probably 10% of what a new building would cost us to retrofit the LBA. It wouldn't take a ton. It would mostly be kind of gutting the boards and things like that, so we could accommodate airplane displays and put classrooms and dressing rooms and do a refit along that line. So again, with that in mind, I reached out to Irving Oil, Beaverbrook Foundation, to Michelle Rempfel, local MLA, and Mike Dawson, all who are very enthusiastic about the project. So should we be able to get the Lord Beaverbrook Arena, we would be able to house everything we want to do in this museum moving forward, which would include province-wide aviation academy. I reached out to, they have a very nice museum in Winnipeg. I reached out to them. They have basically what the original plan was. They have a big fancy museum, and they reach province-wide. They have 2 full-time teachers employed, and they're able to do a lot with their education program, and it's significant. So all that said, that's why I'm here. I think it would be a much more realistic goal should we be able to get this arena and move forward with it. We could have a major tourist attraction here. It would be big, and it would be significant. But probably even more importantly, we could create this center for training excellence right here in Miramichi. That said, it only happens if we get the Lord Beaverbrook Arena, frankly. So we don't have a very significant plan right now, but we'd like to start talking about it, and I know it'll be at least a year before the new facility is up and running, which will give us time to restart a capital campaign and get what we need to get started. And that said, in terms of a capital campaign, we've already had discussions with RDC as well. RDC is very supportive of this plan, and they said something in the ballpark of 30% capital investment by us could get a significant investment by RDC. So that said, we can only move forward if we have the LBA. So that's why I'm here, is just to bring this forward, open a discussion. Hopefully we can sit down and move this forward.
That's great. Thanks very much, Jamie. Thanks for all you've done in the 3 short years you guys both moved here, and this continues to, continue to get engaged. So personally appreciate it. I'll open up the floor for any questions or comments regarding the presentation, Your Worship.
Thanks, Jamie. Nice to see you, and thank you for moving to the community and all that you've done. You're the best kind of come from away, as they say, someone who comes in, rolls up their sleeves and gets involved in the community. That's what we always want. And we as a city have been supporting the Aviation Museum over their efforts over the last number of years. We provided funding and human support to prepare some of the plans that were prepared. I've, like you, gently for a while suggested that the grand vision, although lovely, wasn't necessarily going to be viable. Absolutely. So I do appreciate the work that's being done now to pivot to maybe more achievable long-term locations. I think that, and I mean, it is a value in the community. It's an asset to the community, both in terms of telling our history and our story, and also the work that's done with youth. So commend you guys on that. Just as regarding to the LBA, just my understanding, and I think that this was communicated to the organization at some point, but maybe it got lost in the shuffle. The city hasn't yet decided on the disposal processes for the LBA or the other buildings that'll be going offline when the multiplex comes online. Right. And we have had actually several other inquiries regarding the LBA as well from other community organizations. So our commitment to all of them, which would be the same to you, is once we have a process, we would certainly communicate it to you guys, so that there's a fair opportunity for you and the other groups that are interested to pursue that opportunity when it exists. So,
Awesome.
thank you.
That's all we're asking for. Thank you.
Any other questions, Keith?
Yeah, thanks, Jamie, for the presentation. That was great. I love the idea of the location as well, being close to the college, and it's exciting to think of maybe a program, a training program that could come of it. I'm sure it would also help the airport as well. So, just a question for you: what size, like the museum right now, and I have never been, what size is it as opposed to what the LBA would offer for floor space?
It's not much bigger than this space.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's, well, maybe twice as big as this space. So effectively, I mean, we have access to a Voodoo, and we have access to a T-33 and several other, we have a Vampire, very rare airplane that once flew out of here. It basically can't hold any of them. And the other thing that's important to say, the rent there is very high, and it's a very inefficient building. It's extremely expensive to heat. The winter months, it costs over $2,000 a month just to heat that small space. So we can run a classroom out of there. So it's not at all viable moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Richard. Councillor Arsenault?
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. I've been fortunate enough to visit the museum several times in its current location, and the work that both the past board have done and now you're doing. So huge kudos to you, and for this now, I guess, much more viable plan to move forward. I think it's something that can be very important to our area, particularly. I love the connection to the possible educational programs, and I know that there's been significant work done with Anglophone North School District. So just a huge thank you to you, and look forward to what's to come, and to us as council setting that process moving forward, and to seeing something great there. But really love the idea of the museum. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Arsenault. Any other questions, comments? No, seeing none. We will move on to our next presentations. Thanks again from my chair.